My sight condition that I have, the primary condition that I have and the one that I've had the longest is congenital glaucoma. Now, congenital means born with it, which I was, diagnosed at 16 months old, had my first operation and wore my first pair of glasses at 18 months old. That basically, glaucoma is a build-up of pressure behind the eye. Your eyes are very light sensitive, so light, bright rooms, sunny conditions can be very difficult. The other main eye condition that I've got is because I've got glaucoma in both eyes. The left eye is the better eye, but I've also had numerous detached retinas in that left eye as well. First of all, it was very painful, and I couldn't understand why. And they did checks for my glaucoma and pressures and everything, and that was fine. So they didn't understand what the problem was until I'd gone to the eye hospital that I've always gone to in London, up at Moorfields Eye Hospital. They discovered it was a detached retina, where the retina was peeling away from the back of the eye. I had a hole and I had a bubble right on the back of my eye, and that was causing the problems. And it's taken 3 or 4 procedures to get it to, once they've reattached it, to stay attached, because there's different techniques that you can use to try and not just to reattach your retina, but to get it to stay attached. And it's taken 3 or 4 attempts to find the right one that was suitable for me to get it to stay attached. And the one that they've had to use for me is they've put a special type of silicone oil in the back of my eye and filled up the back of my eye is filled with silicone oil to hold my retina in place. But what that means is that can, not always, but it can affect the glaucoma. But it also means that because I've got oil in my eye, in some ways I can see better without my glasses, because I wore prescription glasses up until about 3 years ago. The main sort of side effect with having oil in your eye is that I can see things that other people can't, in the sense that if I'm in a bright room or quite bright conditions or outside, I get like shimmers of light in front of my eye, as if you're looking on the surface of water where the sunshine is. Sometimes you get like little glimmers. So sometimes I see that when there isn't any. I find that it doesn't need to be very bright, either inside or outside, for it to be too bright for me, again, because the eyes are naturally very light sensitive. And so the evening times are the best time for me, because I don't get the reflections of the light through the detached retina. And it's also better for the glaucoma. In a mad world, I can see better at night than I can in the day. I've got through social services and via Somerset site, I've got a one-eye mouse and I've got a task lamp. Through Moorfields, I've got a handheld magnifier, I've got reading glasses. So I've got all sorts of aids and equipment, really, which has all made a big difference. Visual impairment isn't something that just affects middle-aged and older-age people. It can and does affect young people. So to anybody that may be watching this that has children, nephews, nieces, grandchildren, sons, daughters, if they've got any concerns about their child's vision at all, then do not take any chances. Get them checked and tested regularly at their opticians. Insist on the basic core tests which most opticians will do by routine anyway, things like glaucoma, because as most specialists will tell you, with conditions such as glaucoma and probably others as well, the earlier that they can catch it, then the more chance there is that they can do something about it and stop it getting so bad. But it did have an effect on, especially my schoolwork at secondary school, because I was still having regular operations, so it did have an effect on my grades. But I would like to think that, although I didn't do quite so well in my GCSEs, I got sort of passable qualifications in your core subjects like maths, English, language, science and whatever. I wasn't able to really do as well as perhaps maybe other ones because I wasn't at school as much. But since school, I think I've done quite well. I held down a job in a dairy food produce company for 18 years. Didn't really have too many problems with that with my eyes, apart from having to have time off now and again for checkups or for treatment. Since then I've done a few fun runs, I've done a few half marathons, I've done London Marathon a few times. So being visually impaired, I wouldn't say that in my adult life I don't think it's held me back that much. Probably in my school life it did, but technology and advancements and everything has moved on so much over the years, and it's always moving on. It's looking very promising. It's very good for visually impaired people, I'd say. fortunately through Somerset site, I've also found out about Somerset Visually Impaired Cricket Team, which I'm an active member of, and our new season starts at the end of the month. So there's things that you can do, not just in your working life, but in social life. There's lots of things. There's other events and activities that Somerset site are wary of or can signpost people on. But for me, the visually impaired cricket is my main one.